the ultimate Nebraska tool, a corn cob. About right now is all the dirt work was done, but the fine tuning, the most important part is water management. We did not have the proper drainage from the ditch. Behind me here is the next building pad site for my house. That's going to be a little while out right now. I just got to wait for interest rates like everybody else to come down and the stocks to go up. But over here on this side where he's down here digging around, that's the barn pad site. There's water management there that we didn't get addressed. So we're taking dirt from on top of this hill, and that huge earth mover goes through and scrapes it all up, moves it to the bottom where we need it. He dumps it, and so he is softening up the hill, and he's creating a better building pad site that's going to be elevated so water drains away from this future barn. So that is something that you can never fix later. It's important that it gets done right in the very beginning. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I might go get a lounge chair and just sit and watch this guy drive all day. It's such a nice day. I find it fascinating. Hope you enjoy it. Like something that you should pay to drive it. It looks like a lot of fun. Let me see if they'll let me drive it. I'm sure the answer is no. Something that big should have a nice horn on it. That was, 1 to 10, about a 6. I was expecting an air horn. What I want you guys to see is this is going to be the main road that takes us down to the barn and the new pad site. It was left kind of rough. So they've added some more dirt, smoothing it out, because when we put rock on top of it, we don't want it to mirror what is underneath it. So that's been cleaned up. Another thing we've done by raising the road is I walk down here, you can see we've created a V. So the water from the hill coming down and the water from the road come down will collect, and everything is going to run that direction. And we're going to turn it just before you go down the hill to the barn. So there'll be a collection pond or a little box or a drain, if you will, right by the electrical box over there. And then they'll do another one at the bottom of the hill so the water doesn't go towards the barn. So he's got a couple of days here cleaning things up, and then I'll be ready for Rock Road and hopefully a barn. Notice, but this huge scraper has 2 huge Cat engines on it. There's one on the front and there's one on the back. The one on the front is pulling it, and the one on the back is pushing it, and it runs that huge blade that scrapes up all the dirt. It's like a great big dump truck, or I should call it a garbage truck, how it scrapes it up, and it's got a big blade inside of it that pushes all the dirt out. Okay, so living in a small town, when you go into Connie's Donuts, you meet a lot of people. So I was there the other day. You haven't seen one of these in a while, you guys. I got into it a little bit. This is one of Connie's, if there was a full piece, her huge apple fritter. It's still warm. So I was in there a couple weeks ago, ran into John behind the counter. I thought he worked there. He just hangs out, helps out. He's the one that has all this heavy equipment. So not only am I getting a great deal on donuts, I'm making some good contacts here in town to get some work done. I wish you guys could taste this. Sorry to be so mean, but it's still warm. This is the best seat in the house. Hope you guys are liking it. When I ran into John, he said he could help grade out and fine tune some things. I had no idea he was going to bring in this massive equipment. So not only has this big earth mover, but he's got the grader over here that he has leveled out all the dirt, so my driveway's nice and smooth, getting a good compacted, ready for rock. And then he brought in a bulldozer to come in and smooth things out after he's done a lot of work with this big equipment. So we got one guy driving all three pieces of this equipment, and he's actually making some tremendous progress. Hey, are you guys ready to watch me move some dirt? This is one huge piece of equipment and it has a horn. Let's get busy. All right, guys, so now what John's doing, he's got his grader and he's smoothing everything out after bringing in that huge earth mover. And you can see over here on my shoulder by his truck, he's got a laser set up, and that's telling him what height so everything gets nice and even and flat. And also he's building a pad site elevated for the barn, and then everything on the back side of the barn and on the front, everything will drain all the way around it. So this is a couple step process, and this guy is a one-man show doing a lot of work. Watching John go around in circles, it reminds me if this was an ice skating rink, that would be one huge Zamboni. He just goes around in circles, and I don't know where the middle stuff's going to go. Hopefully, I don't know, someplace else. All right, guys, just a few days ago, this was the huge burn pile that my wife had so much fun lighting stuff. I didn't think you realized what a pyro she was, but it's all under dirt now, and we're ready to start planting. I have three 30-foot culverts. These are things that we had put in that was going across the road back there. I was planning on draining one hill into a pond, and then it would collect and drain into my pond, which is now a swimming pool pond. We realized these culverts were creating a problem. They were doing their job, but we do not want all the runoff water going into my swimming pool, right? So we pulled these all out of the ground. There's three of them. They run about $1,000 a piece. And I'm waiting to see if I need to use them anywhere on the property. Otherwise, I can sell these and make some extra money. But I wanted to show you what these big culverts look like when they're not in the ground. They're big. Actually, yeah, not too heavy. Okay, another thing we found out was with that steep hill we have here in the background, that it didn't have topsoil on it. So we're taking all the dirt where the Max and Nate kept their chickens, and they were running their chicken tractors, and it turned out to be beautiful, lush green grass and fertilized nice. Well, they came and scraped all that out, and that's what's going on the hill right now, which it's kind of a catch-22. It'd be nice to have nice grass down in the pasture area, but more importantly, we got to find a way to maintain and keep this hill from washing out. So I said wash, not wash. So here we'll be able to plant on this hill and hold the hill back and save me the cost of a retaining wall. All right, today's a new day. I've got, let me turn this off. So I got John down here, brought some more equipment. We're going to now lay out all the drains so that when the water hits these troughs and these gutters, if you will, we'll make sure it drains, but we're also making sure we don't get into the future lateral fields for the septic system. So weather has changed. It is now winter. From yesterday 60s, today snow. So welcome to Nebraska. That's snow. That's what we're putting in, right?
Exactly.
Right here, huh?
It would go right here.
Okay. Never seen one of those.
It's a riser.
Okay. Now it gets the water going that way. There's the wind.
There's the wind.
Okay, so we just had a little meeting. They're going to start offloading equipment, and the next thing we're going to do is figure out. Now they already know how to figure it out, how to do it. I'm just here kind of watching it. We're going to take that pipe over there. They're going to put it in the ground, and then they're going to bury a tube. Then we're going to take and cut this out and get the water drained into this little patch of trees. That way we have proper drainage. We're getting ready to try beat winter. And then the next thing we're going to do is since we're all in the dirt, got good compact fill, we're going to start rocking this road and get everything set up so that we can now, the next project is the barn going right down here. I got to get the traffic and the big trucks so that in the event it rains and freezes and thaws, which is the season we're into, if I have mud, I can't get guys in here to work. So we're going to create a pad site down here so I park all the equipment and hopefully start building this barn real soon. But if it stays this cold, that ain't going to happen this year, but we usually get a break. Not too windy. Here is picking up and spinning the lines, the gauge, so they get the right angle of slope. So when they get the trench built and dug out properly, there's enough slope for the water to flow downhill. Remember, that's the trick. Everything should be going downhill. Water and sewage. I may have said that wrong. This is a laser. See it spinning around in there? That light is spinning. We can't see it, but it picks up. That light spins, it's picking up on the stick with the attachment on top that Matt's holding. So when he puts it down the ground, they're double checking their measurements to make sure everything's flowing downhill. The plumbing tricks. doing this kind of work, there's plenty of opportunity. It seems like the guys that do it, they always say there's too something. It's either too hot, it's too cold, I'm too hungover, just not the right day. That's not a two, but if you just show up and work, you can make plenty of money, because for some reason, this new generation, they don't want to do the work. So if you just show up, you're ahead of 90% of most people. And if you show up for 2 days in a row, you're at 99%er. So think of that, about that. There's a lot of room for improvement. You just got to show up. Oh, by the way, you don't own a big company like this until you show up. You just got to start working somewhere, and then the opportunities will come. So my advice to you guys, just show up, start making something happen, and good things will happen. But continue doing something every day, and that will get you closer to your goal. Whether you're in the ditch or just showing up to work at a bank, whatever it is, show up. Okay, some of the fellas up there said I should bring my Bobcat up, so I'm glad to help. I'm coming down. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of rock that they just dropped off, and we're gonna use that to spread around the base of the drain. So while I'm out here filming, I get to help out, which is kind of fun. And I get to drive the Bobcat. See the chickens? We started putting some rock down. Let me turn this down. We started putting some rock down. I'm going to scoop a little bit of this up to take over for the guys at the drain. So hopefully I can capture this. Okay, so I was able to get the Bobcat with a little bit of rock from the road, and then I'll let these guys do the backfilling. I don't want to mess anything up. I don't want to push my luck. When I get too close to ditches, I tend to put Bobcats in them. I don't know if you remember that, but that's still a memory. It's a little too soon to be making jokes about it.
Do you know what that is?
Look at that's funny.
That's the most expensive one we got.
Looks like that came out of the porta potty.
No.
You just recycle those, or just...
Yeah, we're in Nebraska, you know.
Look at that Nebraska tool. Let's see that again.
Genuine.
The ultimate Nebraska tool.
Yeah.
A corn cob. Would you ever thunk it? And I guess it's reusable in other matters in the outhouse, but flip it over.
Use the other end.
Use the other
it's
end.
Recommended.
Otherwise, it may not come out. That's glue.
Depends on.
Now the thumper's working. It was brand new and didn't have all the fluids going through it. Okay, I'm doing some horse trading, which that's a Nebraska term for trading in my culverts for some labor for doing in some fine grading, putting in another culvert. So these guys are hauling stuff out of here. My job site's getting to be cleaned up. Here we go. Check this out. fascinating. So now all my culverts are gone and I'm doing a little horse trading. I'm just about ready to wrap things up. Next comes the rock road. Hey, I had no idea what one dump truck load of rock, I think that was about 15 tons, I'll have to find out for sure, but the way he drove that truck and spread it out, we got our entire rock road from the top of the hill all the way to the greenhouse. I find that was so impressive, and all he did was tip up the dump truck and drive out at a certain speed, so these guys know what they're doing. Hey, did you guys see that? You were off to the side. I hope you saw that rock road. Now you can go hang out in there and dig for stuff. That darn guinea is noisy. Can you hear it? It's a white one right there. Hey, knock it off. All they are is keeping away predators, but they're supposed to eat more ticks. We found a tick on our dog. So these things better get busy or they're gone into flares.
Papa, we want to see the dump truck.
What do you want to see, Indy?
I don't need the dump truck.
The big dump trucks?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go see if we can find them. Want to honk the horn? Put your arm in the air like you're honking a horn. Ready? One.
Honk, 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 honk.
Indy, I think I see Camel Ralph way down there. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Camel Ralph is my buddy.
See him?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Another red dump truck.
You guys are crazy.
Dump trucks. Thank you for making a new road.
Yeah, thank you for the new road.
Yeah, thank you for the new road. Now when we go down to the seconds, they would be a road.
Yeah, here it is.
We got so heavy, buddy. The road. Camel road. Hey, Camel road.
Hey, Rick, knock it off. What are you doing? It's so windy. I hope it's not noisy for you guys, but the guy driving that dump truck, it was one load, about 15 ton. I'm getting dirt in my eyes. So when he backed up, he drove at the proper speed and was enough to just lay down the rock perfectly. You can tell that guy's been doing it for, I think he's doing it for 50 plus years. So I got a rock road just like that. So let me know what you guys think of that. We got more rock coming.